What if you dug a hole through the earth and jumped in? It sounded like a childhood thought experiment, a physics riddle posed by some teacher long ago. Everyone wondered about it at some point, but no one was mad enough to try. Until one man came along, a quiet physicist named Alan Mercer, a man obsessed with finding a path where none had ever existed. For years, Mercer worked in secret. An abandoned mine became his workshop. Machines whirred deep underground, drilling deeper and deeper until bedrock became molten and air shimmered with heat. Against every warning of nature, every barrier of the planet itself, the tunnel pressed forward. The deeper he dug, the more the world felt unreal. Temperatures rising, pressure squeezing the air until it felt like breathing molten glass. But Mercer refused to stop. Then came the moment. The tunnel was complete. A shaft that promised a journey from one side of the planet to the other. No one would accompany him. No one even knew. Mercer stood at the edge, heart hammering, hands shaking, and stepped into the void. At first, it felt like falling down any deep hole. The sound of rushing air roared past and the walls blurred into streaks of darkness. But this was no ordinary fall. The deeper he sank, the harder gravity pulled until every bone in his body felt like it might snap. The air became a scream in his ears, and the pressure surged like a beast pressing down upon him. Yet he fell, deeper and deeper, until the impossible happened. He passed the center of the planet. Suddenly the pressure changed. The sound softened. The gravity that had pulled him down for so long now pulled him in the opposite direction, tugging him upward. What had been a plunge became a rise. The walls, the air, and the force of the planet reshaping itself around him surged as he fell upward toward a new surface, a new world that felt like it belonged to someone else. He emerged at the other end, tumbling out into a midnight field under a foreign sky. The stars shimmered differently. The wind carried strange scents, and the world felt almost unreal, a mirror of the one he had left, yet twisted somehow. The air felt lighter, gravity weaker. He sank to the ground, gasping, disbelieving. In that moment, Mercer understood the truth. The planet was not a solid thing. It was a living force, a beating heart of molten rock and unimaginable pressure. To carve a hole through it was to touch its core, and in doing so, to become a part of its dance. The world he emerged into felt like a whisper of the one he had departed, familiar yet impossibly changed. Through that hole, he had crossed more than space. He had crossed the boundary between belief and discovery, between knowing and fearing. And as he lay upon that strange surface, listening to the wind whisper through alien trees, Alan Mercer felt no terror, only wonder. Not for what he had found, but for what remained to be found. Not for where he had landed, but for how deep the universe truly went. What if you dug a hole through the earth and jumped in? You wouldn't just fall. You would rise. You would find that every end is another beginning, every plunge another ascent. And in that endless falling, you would finally understand that the earth itself is not a barrier, but a passage, and that to surrender to its heart is to surrender to its mystery. In that surrender, perhaps, lies the seed of immortality. Hey bro, subscribe to the channel. There are a lot of interesting things here.